Good day, dear students. We were talking about Indian writing in English, and this is something that you have to understand in detail through the poems and short stories of the writers. Today, we have a poem named An Old Woman by Arun Kolatkar. And speaking of Arun Kolatkar, we must understand that he lived during the time 1932 to 2004. So we know that when India got independence, he was pretty young, but he was one person who was able to learn English well, and he was a Marathi by birth, and he was bilingual. Bilingual in the sense that he can read, write, and speak English and Marathi well, and he was able to write in English pretty good, and he was the winner of Commonwealth Poetry Prize. As I told you in the first class, in the earlier class about Commonwealth literature, they encourage writers, their poetry, their novel, everything, and that is a common platform for English writers from the Commonwealth nations. But the main work of Arun Kolatkar is termed Jejuri. Jejuri is a collection of poems, and this really shot him into fame, and this is indeed something that we have to consider, because Arun Kolatkar is not a person who was that famous as itself, but the collection of poems Jejuri really shot him into fame because of the themes that he had selected for that. So he is a poet of free India. Arun Kolatkar was versatile, and he found humor in everyday life, and he chooses themes from people around and he also finds a surprising insight into the life of these people. It is this which makes his poems quite different from that of the other writers. So we have a lot to learn about Arun Kolatkar. He was also an artist. He had learned to read and write. He was a person who had done a lot of work, and he was a person who was also an artist. It is in that field he became famous, and when he started writing in English, people appreciated what he had written, what he wrote, and so asked him to publish it, and there he is publishing as an English writer. So the poem is about an old woman, and the title of the poem is An Old Woman. We know that it is not an inspiring enough title, because you will find a lot of old women, and it's not really a really enchanting title to speak of. But let's see what makes Arun Kolatkar quite special, and let's see how the poem goes. An old woman grabs hold of your sleeve and tags along. She wants a 50 paise coin. She says she'll take you to the horseshoe shrine. You have seen it already. She hobbles along anyway and tightens her grip on your shirt. This is, in a way, a typical Indian scene, because you know that India is so full of people, so much, and only you have to travel to other places to understand how we miss the crowd of India. And so it is a typical Indian scene which is described here. An old woman, he grabs hold of your sleeve, and he is not taking hold of your hand but your sleeve, and she is already she wants a 50 paise coin, but she is not asking for that 50 paise coin directly. In a way, she says, or that she is asking him or telling him that she can take him to the popular spots. And you find so many such people among the popular spots and crowded places. You find beggars following you, and we are speaking now not about the very modern times when beggars were moved away from the streets and people are careful about beggars. Not that time, but earlier time. And this old woman grabs your sleeve and comes along. She asks for a 50 paise coin, and she is not asking it directly. She says that she is ready to show him the way to the horseshoe shrine. So instead of asking him or begging for a 50 paise, she says that I am ready to do. I am ready to take you, show you the way to the horseshoe shrine, and you can offer me something. That is the implication behind it. She never asks for that 50 paise coin, but she offers to do something for the poet, and that is she will take him to the horseshoe shrine, and that is what she is going to do to him. This is what she is telling him by gripping his shirt. So here you find that Arun Kalatkar was born in Kolhapur in Maharashtra, and he had attended art schools in both Kolhapur and Pune. And as an artist, he was very successful. And this artistic trend is reflected in the poem also, because when he gave the title An Old Woman, he is giving us the picture of the old woman through words, not through pencil or pen or charcoal, but through the words. And you'll have to listen, or you'll have to see for yourself what he is trying to tell us through that word picture. The word pictures presented here are really enchanting. And so there lies the skill of Arun Kolatkar. The poet tries to continue his walk because he had already seen the shrine. There is no need for this old woman to show him the way to the shrine. He had already seen it, and so he knows how to go there. There is no need for anyone to take him there. But this old woman hobbles along. She had her hold on your shirt sleeve. The author says, the poet says, he had a hold on your shirt sleeve. And so there is indeed something here that makes you feel that this old woman is not leaving you alone. He is hobbling along. As you know, an old woman is hobbling along. A picture that comes to your mind of how an old woman will be walking, not on steady feet because of age. The age had worked so much on her legs, and he may be finding it difficult to get along with her walking. And moreover, this man is young and he walks fastly, and this is why he finds this woman very old and calls him an old woman. And the pace that he sets is not something that he can really she can take, so she is trying to keep up pace with him. And in order to hold on to him, we can't hold on to a stranger. So she is trying to hold on to the shirt sleeves of this man. And so holding on to the sleeves, you are hobbling along because this man is running or he is speeding. And so this shirt sleeve is maybe or acts as a support for her walking. And though this man is walking and he feels that it is in a way impossible for him to go to this place because he had already seen it, there is no need for him to go to that place again. Maybe she needs something from you. As he says earlier, she needs a 50 paise from you. And so instead of asking that 50 paise, she is holding on to your shirt sleeve and tells him, as she hobbles along, she tells you that she will take you to the horseshoe shrine, and this is what she wants him to do, that is to accept her offer. And Arun Kolatkar, will he turn back and accept it? That's the question. So the poem is indeed a very short poem, but in a way this is something that makes you feel that it is a poem written about the people of India. The scene portrayed in the poem is an ordinary one. By Indian standards, it's a very ordinary one. And when you find an old woman or anyone, usually you find the street urchins, very young children holding on to your shirt sleeve, trying to offer you to show you this place or that place, and naturally you will be showing them away. That is okay. But this is an old woman, so he can't really do that to her. So here you find that Arun Kolatkar is trying to portray a picture of India through this poem. And this woman is a woman of India. But the poet casually brings in his character through deft strokes of words. As an artist, he can use his charcoal or his pencil or even his paint. But here, as a poet, he uses certain words to indicate the picture or to show the picture of this old woman. The old woman is described as hobbles, in his words, hobbles along. She is not walking. The old woman follows him, nothing like that. Hobbles along. That shows how fragile she is, or how infirm she is, and she is trying to keep pace with this young man. Her age and her way of walking is described, but without a show of pity, because this is how she is. She doesn't want anyone's pity. She is not asking him directly for 50 paise. That is begging. Here there is a difference. There is a lot of difference. There is a lot of self-respect also. And the walking and her age are the poet's way of showing that she is an old woman and she is hobbling along, and she offers to show him the way to the horseshoe shrine. But the man knows that this is not the ultimate aim. The ultimate aim is to get 50 paise. So that is understood. And the lady is not asking for money. So she is pretending that she has something, she is acting like the guide, and the man also takes her on her word, as if he doesn't understand what she is trying to say, that she needs that which she is not telling him, the 50 paise. But you will find that the man or the poet is describing her in this way so that she can really understand what it is. So her age and her way of walking is described, but it is without a show of pity. So here the age and her way of walking, by describing this, Arun Konatkar is putting before us the picture of an old woman of India, and he is not offering any pity for her, because he knows that she will not accept it. And if he were to give her 50 paise, I am sure that she is not going to accept it. Her self-respect will not ask him for money directly. This is an indirect way, and this indirect way is understood by the poet also. So she asks him or tells him that she will show the way, and the poet also says that I have seen it, I don't need your direction. And so the respect for old age is also there. At the same time, there is an irritation faced by the youngsters of all age towards these older people, and so the poet is in a way showing us, or in a way without telling us through so many words, that India is like this. And this lack of pity, or in a way that way of keeping apart from his character or his object of painting, and it is that which makes it really worthwhile. And so this becomes utterly realistic. So here Arun Konatkar is here portraying the picture of a woman, and she is old and she can't walk properly. She is holding on to the shirt sleeve of the poet, and she is hobbling along. These are things that you will have to keep in mind. So the character that the poet is describing is indeed a character worth mentioning, because she is just like any other old persons. But the difference is that these old people will ask for, will show their palm for 50 paise and ask for something to for like money, and they'll be begging. But this lady, this old woman, is not begging, and maybe that is a pretension. But the poet understands that, the old woman also understands that ultimately it is begging, but even then you find that there is indeed a strange chance that there is a respectability for this old woman. And so that lack of pity, or the poet is describing her in that manner alone, and he is not showering her with a lot of pity, just being realistic, utterly realistic. And maybe this is what makes his poems really worth reading. You will find the portrait of such people in his collection Jejure. It is worth reading. So here you find the scene portrayed quite clearly, and the stance taken by the old woman pretending to be a guide, and the stance taken by the poet, that not accepting that pretension, and at the same time not accepting the offer, while he knows that she really wants 50 paise, while she knows that he knows that she is asking for 50 paise. That which is not spoken between them is the amount of money. Okay, so in that manner we can say that both the poet and the old woman, they are just playing a sort of hide and seek. And this hide and seek is in a way a respectability that the old woman would like to keep for herself, and the poet is still undecided whether to break it, or whether to continue with this pretension, or things like that. So in the next few lines, let's see what he has to say about this old woman, whether he will continue with the pretension or not. Okay. So dear students, go through the poem. It's a very short poem, very few lines, and if you don't have the text, better get a copy from the net and have it with you. I have already given the first few lines of the poem, and I'll be reading it aloud to you, but I think that's not enough. You should have the poem with you, and this is just one page. Have a copy as quick as possible. Okay, we'll continue with the poem in the next class. Thank you.